Welcome to the journey of tobacco manufacturing. Today, we reveal the complete process, taking you from a tiny seed all the way to the finished pack.
Before we plant the first seed, make sure to subscribe to Manufacturing Explained for more deep dives into industrial production. The process begins here in the nursery. Special soil mixtures are prepared to give the seeds the perfect start. Precision is key even at this stage. The trays must be perfectly leveled to ensure uniform purpose. Automated seeders place exactly one seed per cell, eliminating waste and overcrowding. Once seeded, the trays are moved to germination bays, where humidity is strictly controlled. As the seedlings sprout, workers monitor them daily, applying mist to keep the fragile roots moist. This single facility can produce millions of seedlings, enough to supply hundreds of acres of open fields. Agronomists check root development constantly. Only the strongest plants will make it to the field. And par congles. Irrigation schedules are adjusted based on the specific growth stage of the plant. And after about 60 days, the seedlings are hardy enough to leave the protected nursery environment.
Transplanting is a coordinated operation. Mechanical planters create the rows, while workers ensure proper soil contact is vital. Air pockets around the roots can kill the plant within hours. Any gaps in the automated planting are quickly filled by hand to maximize yield per acre. As the crop matures, it reaches heights of over 6 feet. Constant monitoring prevents nutrient deficiencies. Flowering indicates the plant has reached peak vegetative growth. Crop protection is applied carefully to prevent pests from damaging the valuable leaves. In some regions, shade-grown varieties require specialized care and covered environments.
Safety protocols are strictly followed during any chemical application to protect the farm workers. They are looking for the telltale yellowing that signals the leaf is ripe and ready for harvest. Once the inspection is complete, the harvest crews are mobilized.
Harvesting is often done in stages, starting with the lower priming leaves, which ripen first.
Experienced pickers know exactly how much pressure to apply to snap the stem cleanly without tearing the leaf. On larger plantations, mechanical harvesters increase efficiency, stripping thousands of pounds per hour. The harvested leaves must be transported to the curing barns immediately to prevent rotting.
Leaves are clamped or tied onto sticks to prepare them for the hanging process.
Loading the barn is hard physical labor. The leaves are heavy with water weight. Transport logistics are crucial. A delay here can affect the final sugar content of the leaf. Once secured, the convoy heads to the processing center. At the curing facility, the leaves enter the most critical phase of flavor development. Modern facilities use continuous conveyor dryers for consistent results. Traditional barns, however, still rely on manual loading and natural airflow. This is flue curing. Heat is pumped into the barn to dry the leaves rapidly. The temperature must be raised gradually over several days to fix the color.
If the heat is too high too quickly, the leaf will scald and become unusable.
It takes constant vigilance to maintain the precise temperature curve. The curing process removes moisture and turns the leaf from green to a rich gold.
After a week, the chlorophyll is gone, replaced by the characteristic tobacco aroma.
QC inspectors check the texture. Ideally, it should be dry but not crumbling.
Once moisture content hits the target of roughly 12%, the curing is complete.
The cured leaves are moved to the packing floor, where they are staged for baling. At this stage, the leaves are fragile and must be handled carefully to preserve their structure. Hydraulic presses compress the loose leaves into standard bales weighing up to 200 kilograms. Consistency is critical here to ensure efficient shipping and storage. Strapped and tagged, these bales are now ready for the long journey to the manufacturing plant. From the farm, the tobacco enters the global supply chain. Strict tracking ensures every bale can be traced back to its farm of origin. Upon arrival at the primary processing facility, the bales are inspected for quality.
Warehousing these bales allows the tobacco to age further, mellowing its flavor.
When production is ready to begin, the bales are brought to the blending line.
The first step in processing is tipping and threshing, separating the leaf from the stem. Human sorters remove any non-tobacco material that might have been caught in the harvest. Only the highest grade leaves are selected for premium blends.
Speed and accuracy are essential on the sorting line.
To prevent breakage during shredding, the dry leaves are rehydrated with steam.
Conditioning cylinders add precise amounts of moisture and heat. This makes the leaves pliable and ready for the cutter. Temperature control is automated, but operators constantly monitor the readouts. Modern processing plants operate 24 hours a day to meet global demand. The conditioned leaves are fed into high-speed rotary cutters. Blending happens here. Different tobacco varieties are mixed to create specific flavor profiles. Burley, Virginia, and Oriental tobaccos are tumbled together in these drums. The blend recipe is strictly followed to ensure the taste remains consistent year after year. These machines are the workhorses of the industry, processing tons of material daily. The cutter shreds the leaves into fine strands known as cut rag.
The width of the cut affects the burn rate of the final cigarette.
Flavorings or casings are often sprayed onto the blend during this mixing stage.
The finished blend is now uniform in texture and moisture.
Before manufacturing, the moisture content is checked one last time.
Too wet, and it won't burn. Too dry, and it crumbles to dust.
Samples are taken every hour for laboratory analysis.
The cut rag is now ready for the cigarette-making department. Pneumatic tubes or conveyors transport the blend to the high-speed makers. This complex logistics system feeds hundreds of machines simultaneously. We now enter the heart of the factory, the making room.
Per minute. This is a maker. It produces thousands of cigarettes per minute. Tobacco is vacuum suctioned onto a moving belt and laid onto the cigarette paper.
Advanced sensors monitor the density of the tobacco rod in real time.
Operators rely on sound and vibration to detect mechanical issues before they cause stoppages.
The paper is wrapped around the tobacco and sealed with a thin line of adhesive.
Minor adjustments are made to keep the diameter within micron-level tolerances.
Uniform distribution is crucial for an even burn.
Radioactive or microwave sensors measure the density of the passing rod.
Production data is logged manually and digitally for quality assurance.
A single floor can house dozens of these machines, producing millions of units daily.
The scale of production is matched only by the precision of the engineering.
The scale of production is matched only by the precision of the engineering. The continuous rod is essentially an infinitely long cigarette. The continuous rod is essentially an infinitely long cigarette. The continuous rod is essentially an infinitely long cigarette. The continuous rod is essentially an infinitely long cigarette. Teamwork ensures that any deviation in quality is caught immediately.
Teamwork ensures that any deviation in quality is caught immediately.
The seam is sealed instantly by a heating iron as it passes.
The paper itself is engineered for specific porosity to control air intake. Now formed, the rod speeds toward the cutting head. Air intake. Now formed, the rod speeds toward the cutting head.
Computer systems track efficiency, waste, and speed. Operators can stop the line instantly if a safety or quality issue arises. Despite the automation, the human eye is still a valuable tool.
The rods are now cut into double-length segments. Physical measurements are taken regularly to calibrate the sensors.
The knife head spins in perfect synchronization with the moving rod.
It cuts thousands of times per minute, cleaner than a surgeon's scalpel.
The blades self-sharpen as it spins to ensure a clean cut every time. The cut segments are now ready for filter attachment. They check for loose ends or tobacco fallout.
Any imperfect rods are removed, and the tobacco is recycled.
The flow of product is mesmerizing, a river of white cylinders.
The filter assembler is the next machine in the chain.
Filters are fed from a hopper and cut to size.
A double-length filter is inserted between two tobacco rods.
Tipping paper wraps around the filter and the tobacco rod, joining them. The double cigarette is then cut in the middle, creating two finished cigarettes.
Precision alignment is needed, so the filter sits perfectly flush.
The tipping paper also contains the small ventilation holes seen on light cigarettes. Lasers perforate the tipping paper as it is applied.
Every single cigarette passes through an optical test station. Cameras check for leaks, loose ends, and print quality.
A jet of air instantly blasts any defective cigarette off the line.
This ensures zero defects reach the consumer.
The finished cigarettes now head to the packer. The packer groups 20 cigarettes and wraps them in a foil liner to preserve freshness.
Simultaneously, the cardboard blank is folded into the familiar box shape.
The foil bundle slides seamlessly into the box.
Glue is applied and the box is sealed shut. A clear polypropylene film is wrapped around the pack. This overwrap provides the final moisture barrier. Packs are then grouped into cartons, usually of 10 packs. Heat shrinks the plastic tight around the carton. The product is now fully sealed and tamper-evident. These cartons accumulate before being cased. Robotic arms or manual workers load the cartons into master cases. Each master case holds 50 cartons. That's 10,000 cigarettes. The case is taped shut and labeled for shipping. Palletizers stack the cases onto wooden pallets. Stretch wrap secures the pallet load for transport. And so, the journey from a tiny seed to a finished product is complete. Thanks for watching.